Are you trying to figure out what courses you should take in grad school? One of the main differences between undergrad and graduate school is that in undergrad you usually follow a typical curriculum for your courses. However, when you get to graduate school, there's a lot more freedom in the courses that you take. And sometimes it can be difficult to know what courses you should take or even where are the guidelines on the courses that you should take. In this video, I'm going to cover exactly the 3 steps to figure out what your curriculum should be. So the first step and the first place you should start when you're looking at what courses you should take in grad school is going to your department's grad student handbook. So in my case, this was called the Red Book, but if you go to your department website and go to graduate students, you can usually find somewhere in there the grad student handbook. This should cover all of your qualifying exams that you need to take in order to reach candidacy. This should cover all of the courses that the course guidelines you should take for your master's or doctoral program, and even sometimes they have specific courses you have to take in there as well. And so this is really where you should start, is looking at that guidelines. So in my case, my graduate student handbook for my department required that you needed to take 6 main courses, and if you scored above a certain percent on your entrance exams, you could only take 5 courses, or you only had to take 5 courses. But in addition to that, you had to take so many seminars and colloquiums. You had to take a couple of these 1-credit classes when you first get started, like Intro to Grad Research and teaching methods. And so overall, there was a lot of different courses you had to take, but you had to meet certain requirements for the number of kind of main courses or credits. So you had to meet about 18 credits of main courses that you took. However, there weren't any guidelines on what any of those courses had to be according to the department. Now, in sub-disciplines, they could have where they require that you take certain courses, but it wasn't written out according to the department. You also have courses like dissertation credits or research credits that we also had requirements on how many we had to meet of our dissertation and research credits. So once you know the guidelines for exactly what courses you're going to need to be able to take, now you're going to have to fill in, what your main courses are going to be or what courses you're going to use to meet each of the guidelines. So to be able to do that, the best place to start is either talking to your advisor or talking to other lab mates within your lab that have already created their programs of study. So when I did that in my lab, I found out that my advisor generally likes for us to take analytical chemistry, mass spectrometry, and chromatography. So that was already 3 of the 6 courses that I was going to need to take. In addition to that, he generally also liked for us to take a class that was more focused on biochemistry or biology as well. So I knew I needed to find an elective class that was going to fit well with a chemical biology or biochemistry perspective. And then I was going to be able to have another 1 to 2 classes for things that were even more electives or weren't specific things that my advisor generally requires everyone to take. So this allowed me to create the basic structure for what my curriculum was going to look like in grad school, and this was based on what my advisor generally likes for his graduate students to take, as well as the guidelines for all graduate students within my department. So after you have that basic structure, your next step is to fill in all of your electives. And so there's a couple things that you need to consider whenever you're trying to fill in your electives. The first thing is, are there other external influences on what you need to take? So these external influences could come from minors that you're maybe taking, specializations that you're getting within your degree, or even fellowship programs. So in my case, I got a minor in women's and gender studies. And while chemistry and women's and gender studies don't have a lot of courses that overlap, I had to take more courses because of this. But if I could find courses that overlapped, I would want those to fill in my electives so that I didn't have to take as many courses as I would have if I took all the courses separately. Additionally, I got a fellowship in my graduate program, and that fellowship required that we took a certain course that was biology focused. And so I used that course to fulfill my requirement with my advisor that we did take a more biology focused course. And so these start filling in the slots of your electives. After you've met all external requirements, the next thing you want to look for is project synergy. So you want to look for courses that is going to give you a good idea of background knowledge that would be important within the projects that you're working on in your research. This is going to be important in making sure that you have the general knowledge for writing your papers, for your exams, whenever you're getting asked questions. You've taken the time to learn this knowledge because you've had courses that have taught it to you. If not, you're still going to have to learn the knowledge. You're probably just going to have to do it on your own, and it's not going to fulfill an elective in your courses. So you should find classes and even maybe ask professors for what classes they think is best for you to take so that you can have the best chance of being successful with your projects because you know the background knowledge. The last thing to take into consideration whenever you're thinking about what electives you should take is your own personal interest. If you have an interest in a specific field, even if it's not really synergistic with your project, but you still have electives that you need to fill anyways, you can choose some of those courses that are going to help you learn more about your interests. This could also be if you are interested in doing things once you leave your master's or PhD program, you could go ahead and take courses that are maybe going to give you more experience in those fields so that you have that experience when you do leave your master's or PhD program. One hint of warning is that I would not suggest taking a bunch of courses that you're just interested in that aren't actually going to lead to your course guidelines or move you forward in that way. Every course you take is going to take time away from research, which is an essential part of getting your degree. And so if you're taking a lot of courses and spending a lot of that time on these courses, and while you may be learning really good things, you're going to work slower in your degree, and you may end up getting advisors that are frustrated at you that you're taking unnecessary courses, and that's taking time away from you getting research done and making progress in your degree. Talking about research and working on research papers can be really difficult, and so I've made a guide to help you step by step through how to write your research paper, and you can get that if you click the link below or go to scientificresearchpaperchecklist.com. I'm also interested in knowing what your process was for figuring out the courses that you took in graduate school. So comment below, I'd love to read your comments and respond to them. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content to help you get through graduate school. And I will see you guys in the next video.